Okay, everybody, here we go again. Here I forgot one thing. I was going to demonstrate the installation of the reflecting ceiling panels, and I did not get that accomplished. So now we'll do it. Turns out that the first panel is 3.5 feet from this wall here, just like the window was, the glass. So we need to locate the first vertice. And if I look in plan view, I can see that the suspended ceiling panels, I get my correct drawing here, are 32 feet wide, and they're symmetrical about the minus y-axis, about x equals 0. And so on the minus side, the first vertice would be minus 32 and minus 3.5 feet. And then if they're down, it looks like 5'7" from 30 feet. So if I take 5'7", which is 7 inches, is what in decimal? 0.58, say 0.6, 7.6. I'm sorry, 5.6 from 30 feet. 30 minus 5.6 is 24.4 in the z direction. So I just want to add a vertex here. So I can do just like the way I started all this. I just click someplace and then edit this. We said the x value was minus 32. And the y value is minus 3.5. And the z value was 24.4. And so that's okay. We've got our first corner of a ceiling reflector. If we looked in side view, we can see about where it is. It looks about right. Lines up with the glass just fine. That's what it's supposed to do. So then we could establish the one on the other side. The symmetry is off now. So we have two choices. We could take this vertice and duplicate it over here 64 feet in the plus x direction, or we could mirror it around the x equals 0 point. Either one would work. Well, we haven't tried mirroring anything, so let's just mirror item, and it's going to be mirrored symmetrically across the x equals 0 point. So we just say OK, and we should have established another vertice. Let me put this up here. There it is. Now, one way to make this first panel would be to make a line here and then extrude it up the distance of the panel, which is there 12 feet at an angle of 10 degrees up, and in the 0 degree horizontal plane. So what if I make a line, an edge? We'll insert an edge from here to there. Okay. Now we can see that a little better here like that. It's called L1. We don't want a line there. We could simply say right mouse click and extrude this line. We could extrude it polar coordinates. Horizontal would be 0 because it's looking down 0 direction. This is 0 this way. Vertical would be up 10 degrees, and the distance is 12 feet. Say OK. There's a face right here. Now, it's a two-fold face because that must have been the last thing we made, was the two-fold face for this glass. And we're looking at the top of it. It's really upside down. We want to look at the blue side, the back side of it here. So we could just reverse it. We want to get the correct materials here. So this is important. So if we do an F4 here, we go to Properties, and the front side is going to be, I think it's gypsum board, and that's the top surface, bottom surface, 2 layers of gypboard. Well, that's the front side in this case, gypsum board, okay. And the rear side, the blue side, is going to be 2-inch glass fiber insulation. We do that sometimes to keep sound from actually sort of rolling out into the room from above the ceiling. In this case, that's what we want it to do. So we say OK, and we can say OK. Now we have one panel. Now the next panel is identical to it, 12 feet, the same distance, but it is 12 feet into the room from the first panel, or 13 feet rather, according to the section. I could simply select this like this, do a right mouse click and say duplicate it, minus 13 feet in the Y direction, and Z0, X0, say OK. Oh, there's our second panel. It's identical. OK. We could look at a side view, and there they are. That looks about right. Looks about what we have here. Now, the other panels are all identical in angle. They're 14 degrees going down, and they're all they're all 12 feet long, 12 feet typical ceiling reflectors. So we just repeat this process. Let's go to here, and there's our view. And I'd simply establish now the first of the 3 panels towards the rear, which is 3 feet down from 30 feet, or 27, and it's back in the Y direction. Looks like it's 3.5 feet plus 13 feet plus 14 feet, or 30.5 feet. We can add another vertice here. Just go add vertices, stick it someplace, any place will do. And the X value, again, is going to be minus 32, just as the first one. The Y value is going to be minus 30.5, minus 30.5, and the Z is 3 feet down from 30, 27. 27, say OK. And there's our vertice for the next panel, and the edge of it's just slightly above this one. We look in a plan view again, we kind of make sure it's all right. Looks like it's about right. Now, we can duplicate that over here, just mirror it as we did the other one. Mirror the item. Okay, there's the other one over here. Create a line again. Insert an edge. Edge is what it's called. A line or edge or whatever. Now, we're going to extrude this guy 12 feet, but down in the minus 14 degrees. So say OK. And again, right mouse, extrude in the X direction 0. In the we'll do it over here rather. The horizontal angle 0 and the vertical angle minus 14. Do this in polar coordinates. Distance is 12. Okay. There's our next panel. Let's look at it here. There it is. Looks good. Now we have another one which is down 1 foot and 15 feet back farther in the room. So if we just say duplicate this guy, minus 15 feet this time, and Z minus 1 foot because it's now down 1 foot farther according to the dimensions on the section. -1. Okay. And all the materials are okay. Again, it's upside down. Probably this one was too. So we want to turn these over like that. We want to look down on the blue side. We'll check their... let's take a look. Let's do an F4 and look at the materials here. Chipboard on the face, and rear is 2-inch insulation, fiberglass insulation. Now, we're going to move this guy 14 feet now, and down 2 feet. So we can say duplicate, and this time X is right. Y would be, minus 14 feet, sure. Minus, according to the section, 14. And Z, this time -2. And we'll say OK. Looks pretty good. And all those reflecting panels look like they're shown on the drawings. Now, whether they're oriented in an optimum way, that's another matter. And we'll look at it later on in a different way. But that looks pretty good. Let's do an F6. F17, not encoding face. What's that about? F18. I don't... Let's edit. My goodness. They all wanted to be coded over here. Well, that screwed things up, pardon me. And we must have left that checked. We can't have that. And now all the dimensions are wrong. Boy, you can see how one little error like that can goof us up pretty bad. So, how's the easy way out of this? There's nothing to undo here. Undo, edit the face. But looks like we're in trouble here. So let's repeat this process. I really will delete each one of these. And this will let me show you another thing anyway. When we delete them all, as you know, I just do this without any script and without any rehearsal. So these kind of things can happen. We'll do them again. It won't take us very long. And now we have a bunch of vertices which we don't want. We can get rid of all of these unattached vertices in one by going to Tools and delete unattached vertices, and they're gone. Now, another tool here is to delete stack vertices. Sometimes we get stacked vertices, and it'll show up as an error. We can check that any time. All right, let's do this again. We started over here with one vertex, and its X value was -32. Y value was -3.5, and Z was 5'7" down. That's interesting. I've forgotten what that is now. Divided by 12. So that's about 0.6. So that's about 5.6. And so we can take our 30 feet, 30 feet minus 5.6 feet, 24.4. Ah, yes, it was up 24.4 there. And we can say OK. And easiest thing to do is mirror this. And it's on the other side there. We'll move this so we can see it. create an edge. This is what we did before. Over to there. Okay. We can move this a little bit so we can see it a little better. And we can extrude this edge. As I recall, we went up 12 feet. Sorry, the vertical angle was, I'll get it here in a minute. Vertical angle was 10 degrees. And it was 12 feet. The distance was 12. Say, okay, there's our first panel. We took a look at it. We found it to be upside down. So we'll turn it over. We'll fix the materials right now. It's not glass heavy. Let's take this is coat of off of there, because that's how we got into trouble before. That's when we added our glass that was left over from that. We have to look at this each time, and I didn't do that. So the bottom side is chipboard, and the top side is 2-inch insulation. Okay. Say okay. And then we could duplicate this guy. It's at the same height and angle, and it's 13 feet in the minus y direction, and z was 0. So we'll say okay, and we got our second one. It looks okay now. And look at the side view, and they look fine. Okay, back to here again. Now we'll do the same thing for the back 3. Locate a vertex someplace. X again is minus 32. And the y value this time is 27, 31 and a half. 14 feet plus 13 feet, 27 feet. 31 and a half feet minus 31.5, and z is 3 feet down from 30 feet, so it's 27 feet in the air. Say okay. Mirror this guy. Okay. Add a line. Same old thing here. Like this. Extrude the line. Down 14 degrees and a distance of 12 feet. So we can say extrude. Over here, horizontal 0, vertical is, you notice that 9.98, that was 10 degrees, but again, because we're going from English to metric units and back again, angular, I'm not quite sure about that, but it sometimes will change it just slightly, not to worry about. Minus, 14 degrees, and a distance of 12 feet. Okay. And this guy is upside down. Turn him over. What about this guy here? Yeah, he's all right. This guy here. And we'll duplicate him 15 feet and in the minus y direction and 1 foot down in the z direction. So minus 15 feet and z minus 1. Okay. Looks all right. And we can duplicate this one now. 14 feet and down 2 feet. This is 14. This is 14 Cartesian coordinates. Minus 2 feet. Okay. Okay. Now I think we got it. Let's do an F6 and see what happens. Gotta save all this. Looks good. So, looking at a side view, even after all that, we now have our ceiling panels. Well, you still have to build this stuff on the back here. You can do that, I think, without any trouble. and we're in business. So I'll quit now, and I've saved this with an F6. I can certainly close the edit window, and here's the main ease window, and I can save the project and close out of here. And it looks like I had ease again here. I'll close it there. So now I'm out of it completely, and I have another video, which is adding the ceiling reflectors. So I'll quit now, and